Hello everyone, welcome to the Succulent Advisor. First thing we have to know is succulents and cactus plants store water in a leaves and a stem. Therefore, it's not needed frequently water. Normal garden soil does not drain water easily. It retains more moisture. Excessive moisture does not allow air circulation, so that increase the risk of fungal disease like as a root rot in a succulents and a cactus. Let's we talk about properties of good succulent soil mix. First, succulent soil shall be have a well draining capacity. It do not keep water in the soil for a long time. Second, succulent soil needs to have a good aeration. It gives better supply of oxygen for the roots and lesser chances of fungal infection. Third, succulent soil need to have a sufficient nutrient. Succulent soil mix contain organic and mineral components. The function of organic components is to provide nutrients, while mineral components increase the drainage capacity of water. For organic components, we recommended vermicompost, neem cake, castor cake, cow dung and coco peat. While for mineral components, we recommended river sand, perlite, vermiculite, fine gravels, coal, brick. The best succulent soil mix have a higher amount of mineral components as compared to organic components. Now we go on a succulent potting mix. Here I classify succulent potting mix component into a 5 group based on their characteristics. Group 1. I include component in this group which make a potting mix less compact. First, river sand. River sand also known as a construction sand or a bajri. River sand used to make a potting mix less compact as well as it increased drainage capacity. It have no fine dust which would inhibit air movement through the soil. This property make it perfect choice for improved aeration in a potting mix. One thing we have to in mind, we not remove some small gravel from river sand because it's good to improve drainage capacity and aeration. Group 2. I include component in this group which make a good drainage and improve soil aeration. 1. Perlite. Perlite is a pearl light mineral which has expanded during heating to give it spongy texture. When you take perlite in a hand, you feel like thermocol balls. Perlite is easy to handle, clean and has no odor. It has a pH of 6.6 to 7.5. Perlite is a good choice when your plants require completely dry out soil between watering. Why perlite is good? It is so porous, excess water to drain quickly, improve soil aeration, lighting the soil. Second, brick. Brick are cheap and easily available. It is a porous and improves the soil aeration. Also help excess water to drain quickly. We can use it after converting it into a small gravel shaped particles. Third, charcoal. Charcoal has been widely used in horticulture, especially in growing cactus and succulents. Charcoal is best used as a reservoir of soil nutrients. Charcoal can absorb soil nutrients, store and release whenever the nutrient level goes down. That is the reason roots near charcoal are healthier. Charcoal can neutralize harmful chemicals. Charcoal hardly absorb or retain water in it. Hence, it is widely used to control humidity level in a soil. It is also work as an antifungal agent in a soil mix. We can use it after converting it into small gravel shaped particles. Fourth, cinder. Cinder is a produce as byproduct from burning of earthen coal. This is not a volcanic rock, however. This is a porous and lightweight. Most of the plant lovers like a cinder due to its fast drainage capabilities. Proper roots aeration is also possible with use of cinder. Cinder protect plant from root rot and fungal attack. Here we have to know one important thing. Zinc does not provide any kind of nutrients. We also not recommend it if you give salty or hard water to your succulent. Group 3. I include components in this group which hold moisture. First, coco peat. Coco peat absorbs water much more easily, especially when completely dry. It improves capability of moisture retain. Excess moisture retain can lead to root rot and plant death, so we not use it in a more quantity. Second, vermiculite. Color of vermiculite is a golden brown to a dark brown. Vermiculite interacts with the potassium, calcium and magnesium in your soil. It also helps to raise the pH slightly of your plants even through its neutral pH of 7. Vermiculite acts like a sponge and absorbs more water than perlite. It does not aerate the soil as well. This means less oxygen for plant roots. Group 4. I include components in this group which add nutrients. First, vermicompost. Vermicompost is the product by which worms are used to convert organic materials into a humus-like material known as vermicompost. It has ability to improve soil structure, texture, drainage and aeration. Vermicompost have a higher NPK compared to cow dung. Second, cow dung. Well-composted cow dung is a nutrient-rich fertilizer. Cow dung compost has balanced NPK content, which is essential for succulent growth. Third, leaf mold. Leaf mold is a crumbly dark brown material made from decomposed leaves and contains a number of essential plant nutrients. It also holds water well, making it a good additional to the potting material of plants that prefer slightly more moisture around their roots. Fourth, tea extract fertilizer. Dried tea leaves contain 4.4% nitrogen, 0.24% phosphorus and 0.25% potassium, making it an organic source of NPK fertilizer known for helping plant growth. Tea leaves are high in tannic acid and many other valuable nutrients that make it more fertile. We will make one separate video on how to make a tea extract fertilizer. Group 5. I include components in this group which are a pest repellent. First, neem cake. Neem cake is mainly made by crushing neem leaves, bark and fruits. It is the best source of micronutrients that support the growth of plants. In addition of nutrient supports, neem cake gives protection against insect and pest because it is contain azadirachtin, nitrogen 2% to 5%, phosphorus 0.5% to 1% and potassium 1% to 2%. Second, castor cake. It is obtained as solid residue from treatment of seeds for castor oil. It has insecticidal properties and acts as a natural pest repellent. In castor cake, nitrogen 4 to 4.5%, phosphorus 1.5%, potassium 1.25 to 1.5%. It also contains some micronutrients: calcium, magnesium, sulfur, iron, zinc, copper, etc., which encourages soil microbial activity. Let's start making a potting mix. From Group 1, we use the river sand. From Group 2 we use charcoal.
From.
Group 3 we use vermiculite.
From.
Group 4 we use tea extract fertilizer.
From.
Group 5 we use castor cake. First we take 40% of river sand with small gravels. Second, from group 2 we take 35% of charcoal. We recommended it because it is easily available and cheap. Also has many other advantages compared to perlite, brick and cinder. You can use whatever you have. You can use any single or combination of all components. From group 3 we take 10% of vermiculite. We recommended it because in addition to moisture reserve characteristic, it also has some nutrient. You can use whatever you have. From group 4 we take 10% of tea extract fertilizer. We recommended it because it is rich in nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Also it is available at home free of cost. From group 5 we take 5% of castor cake. We recommended it because it is in addition to pest repellent property. It has also some nutrient. Take the all 5 selected components and mix well. Now your potting mix is ready to use. Let's see how to potting a plant with our potting mix. Take a pot. First make a layer of medium size gravel at the bottom. Now fill the pot with soil mix. Then make a hole in the middle and place the plant in that hole. Make sure that the root of the plant is well covered with soil mix. Watering the plant after 1 day. If this video is really helpful for you, then like and share it. If you want to know more about succulent and its care, then please subscribe our channel.